So yeah, Season 1 is upon us, and with it comes a lot of patch notes for Update 110, which is now live currently. Man, there are so many good changes in here. We have got to talk about it. And they added a ton of brand new cosmetics to the game as well. We're going to go over these together. But also, they do note what the best farming method is after this patch. But yeah, we've got a ton of stuff happening with XP changes. We're talking about the Haley update, how to farm for her, and also those invasion dungeons. We're also going to go over inversion reinforcements, how those work exactly, and the bonuses, and also some content improvements here and changes to monsters and the systems within the game itself. So a lot to dive into here. But yeah, let's first start out with the XP changes. So it says this: increase the experience reward for completing hard infiltration operations. Also increase experience for defeating monsters by 1.5 times. Now you can also acquire rare basic materials as a reward for completing hard infiltration operations, and they also increased experience for defeating monsters in normal infiltration operations, by 1.5 times. Now, more than doubled the amount of shards that can be picked up in special operations as well, and acquire additional Descendant experience when completing waves in special operations. So yeah, a very, very nice buff to experience. It's going to make that feel a lot better. Now, Director's comments. It says, the 110 update brings many changes to hard infiltration operations. We've changed some of the pre-existing missions, such as occupation defense and escort, to extermination or destruction, to give players a run-and-gun style, fast-paced combat experience as they enjoy repeated farming. Now, the reward system has also been adjusted to reflect this. We've significantly increased the amount of experience gained from defeating monsters and completing missions in hard infiltration operations. And while special operations are still the better option for farming experience, infiltration operations can now provide a decent amount of experience as players farm items. Additionally, we've increased the amount of rare basic materials you can receive from clearing hard infiltration operations. We'll continue to add more content that allows players to enjoy their favorite styles of combat. So they go on to say, we made adjustments to special operations that there is improved efficiency when farming experience. While we recognize many players enjoy leveling up through sterile land mine blocking, we still believe it's not as rewarding as other experience farms that require a simpler play, such as void fragments. As a result, in this update, we've added experience when clearing waves in special operations. The fastest mine blockade will now give you about 1.5 times more experience than before, while resource defense and neutralize experiment will give you 2 times more experience. We hope this will help players level up more efficiently across various special operations. So those sound like they're going to be some go-to options for this season when it comes to leveling up. And of course, farming. And mentioning farming, yes, you're going to want to farm for Haley. So let's talk about this. They added Haley research in the game as well, and you could see all of the options here. But farming Haley's research material, we got to talk about it. Haley's enhanced cell DNA, stabilizer components, spiral catalyst links, and data chips can be acquired by completing invasion dungeons. Now, clear any invasion dungeon to acquire one of Haley's research materials with a 100% chance. Clear invasion dungeons faster to acquire up to 3 Haley research materials at once. And invasion events occur daily in 2 dungeons. Invasion dungeons can also be cleared twice per day. Now, Haley's research materials can also be acquired by defeating monsters in hard infiltration operations. To farm Haley's research material faster, participate in the following hard infiltration operations. All right. So for Haley's enhanced cell DNA, you got Kingston on hard mode, and that is going to be Winchester's Lab Slumber Valley, and then Haley's stabilizer component, Vespers hard, the Shelter, Echo Swamp on hard, and the Chapel. And for a chance to obtain Haley's Spiral Catalyst link, you're going to want to go to Agna Desert on hard, including the Asylum, and then Agna Desert Calgo Ossuary. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And what about Haley's data chip? So we have Hagios on hard. The Haven is going to be super important for this. White Knight Galt specifically, and then Mysteries End on hard as well. So the more you know, that's actually really important. Now we got to talk about invasions themselves. So they have added these, of course, to the game, and you can enter invasion dungeons from the infiltration operations terminal. The invasion event occurs daily in 2 of the hard infiltration operations dungeons, as you can see here. Nice slick menu. Now it says you can choose to play either infiltration operation or invasion in a dungeon where the invasion event has occurred. And invasion dungeons can only be played solo. Now, while the number of entries isn't limited, you will no longer be able to enter the invasion dungeon once you've acquired all the Ironheart particles, which are obtained by clearing the dungeon. Invasion dungeons have unique mechanics for each Vulgus Legion, requiring different strategies. Legion of Immortality, for example, the phase separation Vel blocks the entrance as it nullifies all attacks. You need to overload it and shut it down, defeat the enemies, and feed their artificial brains into the quantum computing unit. Unlock the entrance while the phase separation Vel is down. Now, for Order of Truth, you must survive the explosion from Inversion Energy and Ancient Arche, remove malignant tumors from the Arche pillars, and identify its symbol. You must find the ancestor drone that matches the symbol. After surviving the explosion, destroy the wall of malignant tumors with the Inversion Energy emitter. Now, for Legion of Darkness, you must disable the encryption system sealed with Inversion Energy. Climb the central control unit and identify the trait of the Arche tile with Guide's help. Occupy Arc tiles of the same color to decode the encryption. The Legion of Darkness Vulgus will try to take back the Arche tiles as well. Now, the faster you clear Invasion dungeons, the more Haley research materials you can acquire. Clear Invasion dungeons to acquire gold and Ironheart particles, Inversion Reinforcement experience. So yeah, let's talk about Inversion Reinforcement. This is really important because this is the new Season 1 mechanic. It says you can check the Inversion Reinforcement from your inventory, acquire Ironheart particles to level up your Inversion Reinforcer, as you can see right here. And this is going to be separated into several categories. It says, as the level of the Inversion Reinforcer increases, you will gain energy, which can be used to learn the Inversion Reinforcement effects. There are 5 types of Inversion Reinforcement effects: Hunt, Attribute, Recovery, Survival, and Season. When you learn all 4 effects in the same line, the line's collection effect will be enabled at all times. You can enable and use 3 of the Inversion Reinforcement effects you've learned. You cannot enable 2 effects in the same line simultaneously. The inversion reinforcement effects are applied to all descendants. Now, Inversion Reinforcement will be reset at the end of the Invasion seasons. And yes, we are seeing the start of the Season 1 Battle Pass with all new cosmetics. I think a lot of you guys will dig the fact that they did add some cosmetics here that revolve around helmetless outfits as well, which was a highly requested feature. But let's start from the very beginning. It says this: the new Invasion Season Battle Pass has arrived. Get the new ultimate weapon, Excava, as the Battle Pass reward. Acquire the helmetless headskins of Bunny, Exhilarating Breakaway, Valby, For Freedom, and Sharon, Tactical Decision. And you can see some previews right here. And then also check out the cute cat back attachment right here. As you can see, he's just sitting there chilling. It says, enjoy many more Battle Pass rewards, including free rewards. Start of Invasion Season Battle Supply Shop. So they added a Battle Supply Shop as well. Now, the new Invasion Season Battle Supply Shop has arrived. The Battle Supply Shop is all free. Level up your Battle Pass and obtain various skins. Acquire Bunny's Golden After Image Body Skin and Voltage Control Mask Head Skin. I wish we could see what this looks like. Then acquire Valby's Liquefaction Accelerator Body Skin and Hydraulic Adjustment Helmet Head Skin. And we've got some new products. Added Haley to the list of standard descendants in the shop, of course. Added Haley Sniper Squad full dress uniform. So she's going to get her own cool outfits as well, including the typical Army Beret, premium head skin, and hair and makeup as well. Some packages there. Southern Front and color from the unknown body skins. And then they added Haley's Milk Tea makeup and Lepi's Infectious Agent Survivor premium skin package. Eugen's Nightmare on Med Street premium skin package. And then MK Dominator 02 set evolving skin for Ajax. Twisted Warship female event skin as well. And Colossus Dead Bride skin set female event skin. And then they have another Colossus Executioner skin set for male event skin, and then Albion Fire Brigade set unisex event skin, and gentlemanly male event skin as well. Then added 10 new types of paint as well that you can mess around with customization. So that's actually a pretty hefty amount of new customization options right there. But I should make a note of what's happening with pre-season Battle Pass and content if you did leave that unfinished. So check this out right here. It says the pre-season Battle Pass, Battle Supply Shop, and a bonus shop will be closed. You will automatically receive Battle Pass rewards you unlock by leveling up but have not claimed. And if you have any remaining supply coins, you will automatically receive the remaining items in the Battle Supply Shop in sequence. And remaining supply coins after the purchase of all Battle Supply items will expire and cannot be recovered. Now, unused bonus coins will expire and cannot be recovered as well. So that is all very important to note heading into Season 1. And yes, we're seeing a lot of content improvements as well. As I mentioned beforehand, they are replacing missions in hard infiltration operations with more combat-oriented ones. Here's the actual specifics around that. So you could pause the screen for yourself if you want to check that out. But moving on, we do have some changes to enemy AI and a bunch of things happening around some tweaks there. So monsters will no longer target players who are participating in other missions. Story dialogue will no longer be repeated in hard difficulty missions. Thank God. As a result, hard difficulty missions will not play additional voice lines or subtitles. Now, they changed the immunity mechanics of certain named monsters, replaced the sphere destruction mechanic of Ederlich, Seldor, Demogor, and Platia with shooting weak points. Hopefully, I didn't butcher those names. It says increase the barrier hit range of named monster Ederlich, and players will no longer be teleported when joining large-scale outpost missions. Hell yes. Now, they also increased the gold reward for completing hard difficulty large-scale outposts by approximately 3 times. They improved the routes so that shards acquired from void fragments can be used on the fusion reactor in the same battlefield. More than double the amount of shards obtained from void fragments. Change the monster types and spawn locations in certain void fragment missions. And then Hagius Dune Base, Fester's Moonlight Lake, and Echo Swamp, Abandoned Zone, and Fortress Valley. Yeah, this is interesting. Some notes here from the dev team. It says, we are constantly monitoring feedback to further improve outposts and void fragments. For long-term improvements, the dev team is considering ideas to evolve outposts into a non-stop combat experience, as well as improving the farming accessibility of void fragments and fusion reactors with the integration of content. So that sounds very, very cool right there. And yes, we got some changes to the UI, and we got to talk about sockets. So fix an issue to allow multiple socket types to assign to a single module socket. The socket type applied to loadout setting 1 can also be used for setting 2 and 3 as well. As you can see, here is an example right here. Now, for slots with multiple socket types, the socket type can be changed from the selected menu. Each socket type for loadout settings 1, 2, 3 can be changed so they all may differ. Now, they fixed an issue to allow the dismantling of equipment during combat and added dead zone settings to the game's controller options. Made improvements so that the amorphous materials linked to fusion reactors are displayed in the acquisition information, like intercept battles. Ooh, nice. And they made improvements to allow the ability to designate the quantity of researches when researching enhancement materials, reduce research time for standard precision ion accelerator, phase exchanger, and adjustment control axis. Great improvements right here. Now, some director's comments here. We have added the ability to select the quantity of researches when researching enhanced materials. One consequence of this change is that only 2 studies in the research list will result for each enhanced material. This means previously multiple adjustment control axes could be simultaneously created. Now, when it comes to adjustment control axis, only 2 can be researched at the same time. Now, with the addition of the research quantity selection feature, players can now research up to 500 adjustment control axes at a time. This allows them to conduct more research in one go, reducing the number of visits to a nest. However, the inability to simultaneously conduct multiple research will reduce the amount of enhanced materials that can be acquired in a short period of time. I'm a little bit conflicted about this one. Now it says, while we want to give players new features, we also want to make sure that players in certain situations aren't losing out. As a result, we shorten the time it takes to research enhancement materials so that despite the only doing one research at a time, you still acquire a similar amount of enhanced material as before. We hope that this helps players research and utilize enhanced materials more efficiently. Let me know what you guys think of this change, by the way. I'm kind of curious. Now, made improvements to display only 1 modules you have in duplicate when combining modules. Increase the number of symbols that can be displayed when designating them as attached items to 8. Now, made improvements to allow the ability set to an equipment option category in filter as all in junk for reactors and external components in equipment. That's a good change right there. And then they changed the display, location, and design of the random options to improve inventory slots, remove display for the reactor's attribute archetypes, and fixed the display for external component set effects. And this is a nice little change. The reactor icon has changed so that now varies depending on the archetype. That is very cool. I like that. And then also changed some external component icons to differentiate their appearance based on their defense, shield, and HP status. This is a very, very cool change here. The amount of owned equipment tooltip in the inventory can be displayed like so. So you can see weapon, reactor, external components, and how it's all sorted. That's very, very nice. So yeah, just amazing, like all these little quality of life improvements. They also significantly increase the quality of shape stabilizers you own, improve the map to show the locations of records need to be found when progressing Descendant related quests. So yeah, again, super helpful. Made improvements by adding a tracking on tab when researching, making it easier to view the track target. Improve the intercept battle screen, display the number of linked amorphous materials players have at each intercept battle. And then we have some buffs for our descendants here. They did promise this. So yeah, Ajax, of course, Blair, and then we're going to start from the beginning, Jaber. So they fixed an issue where some stats were not reflected in Jaber's turret. Also, skill power modifier, additional attack for skills when attacking Colossus, Legion of Darkness, Order of Truth, Legion of Immortality, and incoming damage modifier. So that's definitely a buff right there. Improve Jaber's turret sync effect to apply to summon turrets. And then when equipped skill module turret engineering, instead of improving summon turrets to create a turret zone, increase cooldown of turret engineering. Now for Blair, they improved Blair's Pitmaster skill, so it now increases the critical hit rate by the number of flame zone he has up to a maximum of 5. They also increase Blair's flame zone skill damage, increase the damage dealt by Blair's burn skill effect, may change so that Blair's extinguish skill no longer retrieves flame zones, and improve Taste of Aggression effect to stack for the extinguish skill, and improve the MP heal per flame zone from the Taste of Aggression, and power of fire effects to be proportional to Blair's max MP. They also increase the maximum amount of flame zone that can be absorbed through the extinguish skill, and increase the duration of Blaze Up skill, reducing the MP cost. So that's nice. Improve the burn taste skill so that the skill can be halted when pressing the button during use, and they also increase skill damage of the burn taste skill and improved it to be affected by duration related modules. Now, they also increase the max stack when equipping the Incendiary Bomb skill module and reduce MP costs there as well. Increase the number of small fireballs for the Deadly Cuisine skill when the Classic Chef skill module is equipped, and increase the effect of the Pitmaster skill based on the flame zone count. Nice. Now, what about Ajax? Improved Ajax's orbital or orbit barrier and hypercube barrier to be affected by attribute resistances, and increase the barrier's HP and defensive ratios. Increased the ratio of barrier related stats when the life barrier and void barrier skill modules are equipped. Fix an issue with the continuously recovering shield for void walk and matrix recomputation skills, and increase the max shield up ratio. Now, improve the void walk skill to have faster motion transition when using while enhanced. Modified the body enhancement skill to increase HP, defense, and shield, and improved it to grant 100% void energy when used, but increased the cooldown and skill cost. They changed the void walk skill so that it can be stacked with the void charge skill module is equipped, and increased the damage dealt proportional to defense when using void walk and expulsion skills. Now, they also did improve void charge to restore void walk stacks and reset the cooldown of expulsion when used while enhanced. Whew. So yeah, a lot of good changes right there. Overall, it seems like that those are going to be well received. I think they look like they are pretty much buffed, so that's great to see. Now, they do go on to say that they are going to be looking at all the Descendants, weapons, ultimate versions, and fine-tuning everything as we go and improving it based on your feedback. So that's something to note there. And they are very, very proud of what they have accomplished so far, but they're also kind of like, yeah, there were some setbacks with preseason. They've learned a lot from that, and going forward, they're really going to listen to you guys, obviously, and they hope that season over season, it looks like it's going to get better and better. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm curious to see how season 1 is received, but these are really, really good changes to make the foundation of the game even better. Some really cool quality of life stuff there. But there it is. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned here for more First Descendant news and updates. Have you guys covered, and I will see you all next time. Take care.